Here as a 4-H member, and I'm the South Regional Ambassador. This year I've won Provincial Public Speaking, the CYSA Public Speaking, and then I got to head over to Nationals, where I won third about a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really excited you guys could all come out and make the journey and join us this evening. So let's get started. If all of our ambassadors could come up here to say the pledge and 4-H grace.
I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world.
I'll just start this again. I'm a public speaker, not a singer.
Thank you, Lord, for blessings great on this our own fair land. Teach us to serve thee joyfully with head, heart, health, and hands.
So I want to welcome you all to the 2023 4-H Alberta Volunteer Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And we are very excited to have you all here. And we will be inducting Lorraine Parkinson into our Hall of Fame ceremony. So can we get a round of applause for that? We also have all of our ambassadors here from across the province and some current 4-H members. They are here to help in any way that they can, and they were given a couple jobs to do this evening. And so we'd like to help or thank them for their efforts in making this such a success. Okay, so as well as we are here to say thank you to all of the leaders, past and present, for your continued mentorship, enthusiasm, volunteerism, and your endless journey to learn. Each one of you, we're so thankful that each one of you could be here in person with us, and we want to welcome you all, and all of you who are watching on the live or the YouTube. Thank you all for being here, and thank you all for what you do in 4-H. We're very happy to have you all here this evening, and we would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for their ongoing commitment to 4-H. We have a wide variety of sponsors in 4-H, and we value each and every one of them and all that they do. Tonight, we want to focus on one of our only Diamond Clover sponsors, the Government of Alberta. It is the Government of Alberta that sponsors the Hall of Fame, and we want to thank you. At this point in the program, I would like to introduce Christine Somanen, Chair of 4-H Alberta Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Tenley. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. As Tenley mentioned, my name is Christine Swamanen. I am the chair of the board of directors, and it is an honor to be here with you all this evening. As the chair of the board of directors, I am extremely grateful to work with such a robust group of 4-H leaders, alumni, and supporters on the board. If I could ask the board directors that are present here, please stand. I've got a couple here, but I'd like to acknowledge them this evening. As the board chair, I also have the immense privilege to be in rooms such as this one and work alongside longtime 4-H volunteers and supporters. The cumulative work of the people in this room and many others have led to such an impressive youth development program of 4-H Alberta today. For anyone who has worked with me over the years, I have a strong belief in looking back to what 4-H Alberta has accomplished over the years to bring perspective to a room. I was the Premier's Award recipient in 2016, And since that led into the centennial year for 4-H Alberta, I get to carry this, I've carried around this centennial calendar as a bit of a history book. And so I would like to share with you some historical facts of 100 years ago and 50 years ago, and then also what 4-H in Alberta looks like today. So in 1923, there were 14 swine clubs active across Alberta with 286 members. There was an inter-club judging competition that was started in Calgary and Edmonton for the top judges representing their local clubs. There was the first record books for Swine Project distributed to members, probably dreaded a little bit at that time, just as much as today. The Lethbridge District established the first Market Beef Club with 28 members. Confirmation calves were auctioned as baby beef at the Lethbridge exhibition in August after being fed since January 1st. A provincial seed fair was held in Edmonton for crop club members. And the first public speaking contest was held at the Calgary Fall Show and Sale between Southern Alberta swine clubs. A member from Olds placed first and won $15. Might be more than the current winner received, but that's great. So fast forward 50 years, we're in 1973. National 4-H Citizenship Seminar was organized by the Canadian 4-H Council, so that still exists today as the Citizenship Congress. There was a record high of 11,037 4-H members enrolled in 4-H Alberta, and the Canaan Project was started. So if we fast forward to today, we have surpassed 106 years of 4-H in Alberta. We are now one organization with one CEO and staff group, and we are proud to make the priorities of 4-H members and volunteers the center of direction for 4-H in Alberta. We have a mission to inspire, mentor, and empower youth to create positive change in communities through effective leadership. This is one lofty goal, and this year we began 2 initiatives to help with this goal. One was to introduce more youth to 4-H through introductory 4-H clubs. And we've also heard from volunteer leaders on their workload contributing to 4-H in Alberta. We also have exciting news to share that youth membership has seen an uptake in 4-H Alberta for this first time in many years. We get to work with Alberta Agriculture and Irrigation through a large grant that keeps our programs going, and for this we are immensely grateful. There are many other sponsors that we get to work with to develop programs, and those contributions do not go unnoticed. As we gather here for the 4-H Alberta Hall of Fame, I did a little bit of research. I learned that it was established in 1971. And since we were downstairs earlier, we were able to see the faces that have been inducted into the Hall of Fame over the past 52 years. Fun fact, that's double my age. And during that time, there has been many Hall of Fame members that have contributed significantly to starting programs in Alberta, whether it's the Provincial Sheep Program, 4-H on Parade, and the Northwest Regional show that they have there. This extensive list of programs shows that volunteers, staff, and 4-H supporters have made their mark on 4-H in Alberta today. Many of them have impacted individual 4-H members and leaders, all of who contribute to our local communities. I'd like to thank all the Hall of Fame members that were able to make it today and join us online. And Lorraine, it's a pleasure to be with you this evening, and I look forward to hearing more about your contributions to 4-H in Alberta. So I encourage you all this evening to meet a new friend, reacquaint yourself with an old one, and enjoy this gathering we have together. And thank you for celebrating this time with us.
Okay, thank you so much, Christine. On the 4-H Alberta Hall of Fame induction ceremony, as I said earlier, we are honoring Lorraine Parkinson, who has been described as a volunteer extraordinaire, a mentor, a leader, and a friend of 4-H. Lorraine Parkinson from the Calgary region will become the 95th member to grace our Hall of Fame. I would ask Stacy Price and Sharon Elrich to come forward and introduce Lorraine.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. It is my greatest honor to introduce to you my friend, and I knew I was going to do this. Our 2021 Hall of Fame inductee, Lorraine Parkinson. I'm going to make her do it. Yes. For those of you who don't know Lorraine, let me tell you a little bit about this amazing woman. They say if you want to something done, ask a busy person, and I'm sure that saying was created for Lorraine. I met Lorraine back around 1996 when both our oldest daughters were already in 4-H. Lorraine was like myself and eager to learn everything there was about the Calgary region, and we ended up crossing paths at many meetings. I was amazed even then at the things that Lorraine would take on. There was never a task too big or too small. As our subsequent children came into the program and my club moved from Mountain View into Rocky View District, I dealt with Lorraine more often and we became fast friends. Lorraine was always up for a challenge and strived to ensure that her club, while not a livestock club, was still included in many events. One year she arranged to have her kids come out and join our sheep club for a multi-judging day, learning to judge beef, sheep, and dairy. In turn, our members learned how to judge life skill projects. She's always trying to encourage her members to expand their knowledge. For Lorraine, everything she does is for the kids, and she wouldn't stand by and let a kid suffer for something that was beyond their control. She would strive to make sure that if a kid wanted to take part, they were able to do so. Lorraine is also a whiz at coming up with new ideas and raising money. When our district found itself tight for funds one year, she came up with the idea of doing a funny money casino. Her idea was to reach out beyond the parents and families and include our greater community so that we were not continually reaching into the same pockets. This event became such a huge success that our district was set after that. I worked closely with Lorraine on many events and her commitment to this program is undeniable. Where she finds the time, I will never know. I honestly don't believe she sleeps. When life skills weren't attending 4-H on parade, Lorraine worked with the Calgary Stampede to do some cooking displays during the 10-day show, giving her kids an opportunity to promote themselves and 4-H on an international stage. For Lorraine, again, it's always about giving kids every opportunity. One of my favorite things about Lorraine is how she tries to get to know all of the kids. At any given event, she will always take time to listen, to meet the members, and really talk to them. While not involved at club level anymore, Lorraine still devotes countless hours to 4-H by looking after the 4-H Provincial Casino. And she is, by the way, always looking for volunteers. For her, this is a great way to stay in touch with past members and leaders. Outside of 4-H, Lorraine volunteered at a local elementary school for years, serving hot lunches. She helped with all her girls' baseball teams, and she continues to support her girls with everything they are involved in. I would have to say that she is their biggest cheerleader. Lorraine is also an avid quilter and loves to spend her spare time sewing. Shortly before her husband Jeff retired, the two of them started Jeff Parkinson Woodworking. Woodworking was a passion of Jeff's, and they made some amazing projects. They participated in numerous markets throughout the year, as well as taking private orders. Lorraine was always the face behind the table, chatting you up and making you smile. When Jeff passed away suddenly, she continued with the markets on her own, but it was not the same without him by her side. An avid football fan, she loves nothing more than to spend her football season cheering on her Calgary Stampeders. And while our team isn't in the big game tomorrow, she will still be tuned in. If you have met Lorraine, you will remember her. She somehow always makes you feel like you're the most important person in the room. And I consider myself blessed to be able to call Lorraine my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Lorraine Parkinson, our newest. Well, I'm going to, you're going to.
Well, I wasn't gonna cry, but you know what? I got two awesome friends there, hey? So, good afternoon, 4-H friends and family. Thank you to Stacy Price, Sharon Urich, and Casey Mundy for the nomination. On November 29th, 2021, I received an email from Kurt Kinnear. Churchy, you're here. You're supposed to be on a cruise. Hugger. So on November 29th, 2021, I received an email from Kurt that said, since we usually talk on the phone about 4-H and the casino, I was wondering if you would be free for a Zoom call tonight around 7 or 8 p.m. to go over a few things. I can send the invite if you are free. To this day, I still have not met Kurt in person, and he actually phoned me this morning. He's very ill today, so Kurt, I'm going to take you up on that invitation for dinner here pretty soon. I responded, sure. I'm not very good at Zoom, so in true 4-H form, I embraced the motto, learn to do by doing. I had to have Kurt and his sidekick, Andy Pittman, instruct me on how to turn on my camera. I did not know Andy was going to be on the call, so I was a little worried. I thought they were going to fire me as the casino chairperson. Little did I know that these fine young gentlemen had a huge surprise for me. When they delivered the news, they both got to see the ugly cry. And I mean ugly cry. I am sure it is still haunting them to this day. Thank you both for delivering this wonderful news. My involvement with 4-H started at a meeting to try and keep the Goldenrod 4-H Multi-Club from moving away from our community. Sharon Urich took one look at me with 4 young ladies in tow and knew that she was going to get me involved. Little did I know just how involved I would become. I grew up in a family of 8 children, and most of us were very active in sports. So naturally, there was always a lot of competition. When I saw how involved my sister Juanita Wagstaff was in the 4-H program, that competitive nature kicked in. I thought if Juanita could be a beef leader, then maybe I could be a leader of a multi-club. No livestock experience in my life. 2 years after walking into the first 4-H meeting with Sharon, I became the general leader, not realizing that I would be in the role for the next 15 years. While being a new leader, I started attending the district and regional meetings and was very impressed with the leadership. My role models at the regional level were the likes of Lloyd Marshman, Doug Ray, Greg Hawkwood, wherever you are, and Bert Prindle. These gentlemen were the encouragement to inspire me to try and get as many of my members to attend as many events as possible. My 4 girls, Taryn, Cassandra, Avery, and Devin, were all part of the Goldenrod 4-H Multi-Club. They all stayed long enough with me at the club to have earned enough diary points for their Platinum Awards of Excellence, and all earned selection trips around North America. 2 of them even became ambassadors for the Calgary region. Beyond the club level, I had the pleasure to participate at the levels of 4-H Alberta in roles such as District Treasurer, Key Leader, Regional President, 4-H on Parade Multi-Club Committee Chair, 4-H Foundation Board of Directors, and 4-H Casino Chairperson. I had the opportunity to represent 4-H in Great Falls with Hall of Famer Bernie Prefontaine, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Ottawa with Hall of Famer Andy Pittman and Miss Suzanne Stone. I have lots of impressive memories from my time in each of these roles and on these great trips. It was an honor to represent 4-H Alberta. When dropping my girls off to camp or other activities, I enjoyed meeting all the kids. My first experience with dropping kids off at camp was to meet the counselors, and boy, did I meet some fantastic young people that included Mark Shand, Lanny Anderson, Aaron Hawkwood, Bashan. Did I say that right? Okay. Kathy Borthwick Price with her busted off tooth that she was going on a date that night, and she went like this the whole night because she didn't want to have that broken tooth. Another one, Shelley Neal, Julie Alseth, and Lori Jacob Taves. I forged friendship with these young people, and lo and behold, I finally met some of their parents. I finally clued in that Aaron's parents were Hall of Famer Greg Hawkwood and awesome wife Janice. The friendships that were made and the fun we had was worth every minute. For example, during my first key leader training with Andy Pittman, Bev Rasmussen, and Kathleen Linder, since we were all newbies, we decided to dub our table the Virgin Table. And Andy's actually sitting at that exact place. This seemed to really draw everyone to us. Another memory that I, and likely Bernie Prefontaine, will never forget has led to him always checking his suit pockets before going out in public. You'll have to ask Bernie for more details, though he may deny anything ever happening. I also have many great memories from Leaders Conference, from rooming with my sister each year, to the craziness of playing spoons, to being awarded the Golden Clover Award in 2013 for my role in the Calgary Stampede Youth Kitchen Theater. My sister, Juanita, was always kind enough to give me the bed closest to the window so that I could crack the window. Despite no complaints, I often noticed that her dressed in multiple layers of clothing. Another memory that I have was when Andy, Suzanne, and I had the pleasure of meeting Craig Oliver he was a CBC political correspondent, as he came walking down the steps of the Parliament buildings in Ottawa. He stopped and chatted with us, and we got pictures taken together. I may have fangirled a little bit. And if I remember correctly, he was a little tipsy at the time. There is an awesome welded bench out here at the 4-H Center that one of my members, Jeff Lundy, created. Bruce Banks saw his workmanship and decided that his bench should be on display for the 4-H community to view and have a seat. So if you get a chance, go wander out there. It's a beautiful bench. Thank you all. Thank you to all the members for giving me the opportunity to learn alongside of you. As adults, we forget what it is like to see through the eyes of kids. They see things way different than we do, and we need to encourage them to continue being curious and asking questions, not to be scared to try different things. This is going to be the hard one. Sorry. I'd like to thank my husband, Jeff, for all his support during our 4-H years. There were lots of times he did not know where his girls or wife were, but he always supported me, supported my crazy ideas. Oh, I can barely see this now. He was a project leader for some of our girls when they were members, and somehow I managed to convince him that teaching woodworking to a bunch of girls a few years ago would be a great idea. He may have grumbled under his breath, but he always said, "Yes, dear," and proceeded with a giant smile, even when tools were not being used his way. I would like to thank all the 4-H members, leaders, families, and sponsors, past and present, for the continued support of this wonderful program. This program has been near and dear to my heart for decades. And I know, thank you. Oh, sorry about that. I know it will continue to hold a special part in my heart. I cannot thank everyone enough for this nomination, amazing memories, and for giving me this prestigious award. Have an awesome evening and enjoy the wonderful people in your life. Life is too short. Thank you all so very much.
Thank you so much, Lorraine, for sharing. I want to introduce you all today to the Hall of Famers who are here with us. Please stand as I say your name and stay standing until we finish, please. We are starting with Elaine Gourlay, who has been inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1991. She reigns from the Northeast, but was moved to the East Central region now. Angus Park was inducted into the 4-H Hall of Fame in 1997 and hails from the East Central region. Gary Hall from the Calgary region was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2001 and has worked on casinos with Lorraine for many years. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2003 was Leona Petherbridge from Northwest region. We are honored to have Bert Pringle with us today. Bert is from the Calgary region, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2003 as well. Greg Hawkwood from the Calgary region was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2004. And inducted to the Hall of Fame in 2005 from the East Central region is Carol Tekyak? From the Calgary region, Sharon O'Rich, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2008 and was one of the nominators of Lorraine Parkinson. Tim Church was inducted in 2012. Tim works with the UFA and has been a huge supporter of 4-H program, both as a volunteer and as a sponsor representative. From the Northwest region, Clinton Ziegler was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2013. Dorothy Carlson from the Northwest region was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2015. Sherry Howie was inducted in 2015 from the Peace region. Sherry is currently working for 4-H Alberta and she is running the 4-H Center. Helen Andrews from the Northwest region was inducted into the 4-H Hall of Fame in 2016. Andy Pittman was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2020 and is a representative of the South. Stacy Price was also inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2020 and hails from the Calgary region. And of course, our newest member, Lorraine Parkinson from the Calgary region. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking these outstanding individuals for playing such a huge role in helping shape the incredible 4-H program that we have today. Now we're ready to serve some dinner, and we will serve the tables in numerical order, so please don't go up to the buffet until the table ahead of you is returning back to their table. So table 1, can you please get us started?
Let's just wait and see if it's ready. Let's just wait and see if it's ready.
Okay, so while we're having our dessert, I would like to call on Sophia Hoagland, who is our 2023 Premier Award winner, to present her keynote address.
Alrighty, good evening, everyone. So I wasn't given a specific topic for tonight. I was just told to speak about how 4-H has impacted my life and what it has taught me. Now, to try and sum everything up that 4-H has done for me all into one speech would be impossible. 4-H has impacted my day-to-day life in so many ways and taught me so many valuable lessons along the way. The most important lesson that 4-H has taught me is that the key to success is hard work. Now, some people are naturally gifted, but I hate to break it to you, most aren't. In my early years of 4-H, I watched many people succeed in public speaking, judging, and many other things. And at first, I thought, wow, they're really talented. But as I got older, I realized that that's not the case. To be good at something, you have to work hard. And even if you do, things don't always end up how you think they should. For the first 7 years of my 4-H career, I worked hard. And no matter how hard I worked, I still felt like I wasn't going anywhere. But somehow, I ended up here. Tonight, I'm going to give you a little peek into what 4-H has taught me about success and hard work. The 4 main points of hard work are dedication, persistence, positivity, and dreaming. The main definition of dedication is the quality of being committed to a task or purpose. By being involved in 4-H, we are given projects that become our pride and joy. And through these projects, 4-H teaches us what dedication is. Dedication is getting out of bed early in the morning or skipping out on hanging out with your friends to get the last parts of your project ready before Achievements Day. 4-H teaches us dedication so that we understand how to carry out and complete tasks when we go out on our own. Moving on to the second point, persistence. Persistence is the firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. How many of you in this room have ever felt like giving up at least once? Well, I'm glad to see I'm not the only one. 4-H teaches us persistence because it exposes us from a young age to the thought of failing. The first 7 years of being in the 4-H program really taught me what persistence is. Every year I would come this close to making it, but somehow, some way, I would always fall short. This is the time when I really learned what persistence is. Persistence looks different for everyone and every situation, but for me, persistence was staying positive and trying again and again, changing something every time until I got it right. No matter how many times I failed at showmanship, public speaking, or judging, I always tried to put a smile on my face and try again until I got it. And even though I have improved over the years, I still have to try each and every day. Persistence is trying again and again until you make it. The third point is positivity. In my opinion, positivity is the key to success. Being positive is something a person has to practice every single day. Never in my life have I met a person who can be positive in negative situations without practicing. Take myself, for example. This past summer, I had the privilege of falling down a mountain during a small rock slide, which caused many injuries, the main one being a shattered tooth. Since my tooth was shattered, it had to be removed, which resulted with a hole in my mouth. Now, when I was younger, missing teeth was cool because you got money and such. But as an 18-year-old, it was not the look I was going for. I also didn't get any money, which was a disappointment to say the least. Anyway, being positive through this whole situation was very difficult, but I just kept on thinking, yeah, my mouth was smashed in and I couldn't walk properly, but hey, I'm alive. Making the conscious choice to be positive is never easy, but in the long run, it's worth it. For the first 7 years of my 4-H career, I felt like I was going nowhere, but I stayed positive, kept on trying, and I got my first award through Summer Synergy that way, by being positive. So I encourage you, the next time your project doesn't get placed as high as you wanted, or your market animal doesn't go for as much as you had hoped, that you make that conscious decision to be positive. Take what that judge told you and use that to improve for next time. Positivity is the key to succeeding in life. The last point is dreaming. I've met many people who drop their dreams just to focus on life itself. So I encourage every one of you in this room to continue to dream, no matter how old you are and no matter what people tell you. But I also want to remind you that a dream will only ever be a dream unless you make a plan to accomplish it. Now, one of the things I didn't mention at the beginning that 4-H has given me is some of the best mentors as well as amazing friends. I believe very much in surrounding yourself with people who push you, laugh with you, and pick you up when you fall. By growing up in 4-H, I was given the blessing of an incredible supportive community. People from every generation, mentoring, pushing, and supporting one another through every stage of life. The friends I've made through 4-H are not only friends, but also family who've been there through every step of my journey, guiding me and celebrating with me. And for those people, I will forever be grateful. Without 4-H, I would have never had the unbelievable support group that I have been so blessed with. 4-H has taught me much over the years, but the one thing it has taught me most is that community does matter and that hard work does pay off. It might take a year or maybe 7, but one day, if you keep working at it, it will. So stay dedicated, be persistent, remain positive, and dream big.
Okay, thank you, Sophia. This concludes our program, and I want to congratulate our inductee once again, Lorraine Parkinson, for her continued contributions to 4-H Alberta. Thanks to our sponsor, the Government of Alberta, and Christine, you're gonna have to help me with the last name again, Swaminen, and Andy Pittman for stepping in. We greatly appreciate you and the government's continued support for our great program. Safe travels and enjoy the rest of the weekend. I would now like to call on Sherry Howie to do a farewell.
This is supposed to be Kurt's job, but here I am. Kurt. Here I am to just say thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed the 4-H Center. I hope you enjoyed our reception and the opportunity to see downstairs and all those wonderful faces down there and read their bios. I'm really happy to see the ambassadors here. Thank you so much for coming. 4-H isn't 4-H without kids, and most of you are getting to be adults, but it's wonderful to have you here. Thank you for coming and helping us out. Don't go away, there's some cleanup to do, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Lorraine. We worked hard to get this to happen, but it was wonderful to have you here, and it was wonderful to induct you into the Hall of Fame. And so welcome to the esteemed group. We are all friends here. Drive safe, be careful, have a wonderful trip home, and a great weekend.